Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Ando. Thanks for coming out. So we got some cool footage of what I've been doing in Squad Arena. So take it for what it's worth. You know, it's only a couple battles, but I am really liking what I see with this Vader rework. I'm gonna kind of talk more about the things that I worry about a little bit, and what I'm rather than what I'm actually doing. If that makes sense. So I'll just press the I'll press play on the footage, and then we can just kind of talk about what's happening. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to hop in the Discord, which the link for that will be in the description down below. But one of the things is, you know, in my arena, I run into a lot of these teams right here with Rey, and the only other, like, I've seen a few of this team composition before. Other than, like, we change out maybe like Grandmaster Yoda with like Watt, or sometimes I've even seen Shakti in here. And I think Watt makes it a little bit more difficult, but not to the point where I'd say like it's definitely. In fact, that's my next battle, and I actually do better there. But yeah, I'd say definitely do not do this unless you have tested this out in your own squad arena, right? You got to get a feel. I'd say the hardest thing about this is knowing kind of who to target, and understanding too, like, especially with Wat Tambor in here, you'll see I target specific people whenever I go into my merciless target, right? So right here, I've got Rey selected because Wat Tambor is going to add, or yeah, right there you saw, Wat Tambor added 2 dots on top of that. So knowing that like is a thing, you have to kind of pick and choose who you're going to target, because that's more and more damage that you're adding onto her. So I try to go here for the the kill, and I don't make it, right? And here's another. That's why I say you have to kind of test your own Vader, right? I run a speed set on mine, but I know people that have, like, created basically a super high crit damage or high offense numbers that absolutely destroy this with like 9 dots. So, and it's just gonna kind of depend, like, again, how tanky Rey is. Are you gonna get the crit? Does she have the bonus protection, right? There's a lot of factors in here. This battle would have went a lot more clean if I would have just had that little bit of extra damage. But I'll show you guys a case of why you potentially don't want to have that huge offense on your Vader. There's pluses and minuses with everything. And I'm still pretty slow at this. I definitely, if you're kind of watching this right now, definitely take note of, like, who I'm trying to ability block. Again, a lot of these guys, they got big call to assist, or Rey with her whirlwind. That's a pretty big thing to try to ability block through this. But yeah, it definitely is really fun. I know that obviously she's got damage immunity, but I just trying to get ability blocks at this point. And so we'll talk about also, like, why I choose who I choose here. So even though I'm running a speed set, I like bringing in Palpatine because that's 16 speed that I'm adding to Vader. And then Traya is nice because she kind of takes care of any, like, tanks right off the bat, and also she reduces cooldowns. So she's going to reduce cooldowns on Vader. So you can see at this point I'm like, oh crap, man, I'm not doing so good. But you'll see, like, how dominant Vader can get as long as he gets all his turns. And I do have a triple Vader Zeta, so that's why you're going to see, like, me re-healing so much. So that is another thing to take into account as well. I don't have, like, any 6E mods, like, on any of these guys, at least to my knowledge. I think I might have a potency cross on Vader that's 6E, but other than that, I mean, it's just pure 5A gold mods here. And as you can see here, I'm about to go into the final form here, and deliver a big hit there to Jedi Knight Revan. So again, kind of not as clean as I think I would have hoped for. But here's a better one, and this is with Wat Tambor. Always place the weapon tech here, and then I just I place the tank tech on whoever I really want to survive the most. Typically it's Traya, because it seems like Jedi Knight Revan marks Traya. Again, it's kind of a strategy on like who you're selecting whenever you do this. And I know a lot of these I was just more experimenting, like, okay, let me try this guy first. I think Culling Blade also too works the best if you get it out early. So that way your cooldown starts earlier, and you still got the, you know, maybe 2 or 3 turns left in your merciless target. And then you'll see in my strategy, what I do is as soon as I get to Thrawn, I actually swap Turn Meter with Traya. My Traya is decently speed, so I know he's gonna get his turn soon, and that's the key for me, because then I'm now gonna be allowed to do that 2-turn fracture on Rey, right? Because before that, I can't do it. I would have to fracture Kenobi, and that's not what I want. Okay, so I'm looking here, and I'm like, okay, what should I do? She's got all this bonus protection. I'm seeing how many dots she's got, how many debuffs basically. So I say, okay, let's just ability block her and then fracture her, which I think would have been that's the right move, because I don't think we would have even made a dent in that bonus protection. All right, so again, I did Merciless Pursuit on Rey because I think adding that extra 2 dots is going to help me in the long run. All right, now you see she's got 12 debuffs on her, so I go for it and I get it, right? So it's a little bit like, I don't remember what we had last time, but it didn't seem like I did that much. Or maybe, this one was modded for speed instead of health, or whatever the case was. And again, just kind of going over again, hey, who doesn't have an ability block right now? Jedi Knight Revan can't be ability blocked, but, does Kenobi have one? He's got an assist. Right now, it doesn't really matter because he's got his isolate, but, having ability block on Gas is also pretty big as well. And then once Rey is gone, I mean, this team, I'm not saying that it's not dangerous, but I mean, this team is way less dangerous, right? And so that it's all pretty much downhill from here. This would be, if this was GAC, we would be looking at, what, a 55 banner win against a Rey. That's pretty dang good. Especially considering that this is like the super version of that team. All right, so next team comp is like a fully resistance team, or something pretty close to what you might see. This is probably where I'd say you want a fast Vader, because I've seen videos, like one of the guys on my Discord, he submitted me something that was very similar to this. The only difference is you can see my fin right here is like pretty much at 100%. The only difference is that his took the first turn, and for whatever reason it just like melted down. So I'm not sure if it has something to do with the inspiration or whatever his first move was, to give it to some of the resistance heroes, or to all the resistance characters on the team. But it just seemed like they were countering, they were doing a bunch of weird stuff. So I'm not sure what that was. So if you guys know what it is, I'm by far not a resistance expert. I have tried to avoid getting Rey to this point, and so we'll see. But yeah, if you know why that is, or what kind of interaction is causing that, I could not necessarily find it in my like 2 seconds for looking for it. But yeah, very much the same strategy here. Start off with Vader. Pick who you want to use your merciless target on, right? I use the turn meter swap with Thrawn to go over to Traya, get the isolate off early, so that way I can actually fracture Rey, And now you can see, this is again one of those things where it's like, this is a very thinking man's like team composition, right? I put Rey into damage immunity there. I could have probably killed her if I just was a little bit more patient with the Culling Blade, with how many debuffs were on her. But unfortunately now she's in this state where she's got damage immunity, and now I've kind of got to figure out, and her next move obviously is also going to be her ultimate. So this could have definitely been played a lot better. And I'd say, like I said, one of the hardest things in this is definitely thinking about who you're going to attack when, and what move you're going to do, and how many more cooldowns you got until it. But it is really fun. I will say that. It's very, very fun stacking all these juicy, like look at Rey's got 21 on her now, right? All these characters here are just primed, ready for a Culling Blade. And so, yeah, again, like, you know, people will say, hey, why'd you bring Palps in here? Again, it's the 16 speed. Vader counts as his own 16 speed because he's both Empire and Sith. Trey's going to give him 8 speed. Ron's going to give him 8 speed. The only person here that's not adding speed is Wat-Tambor, but he's, in my eyes, he is necessary here, just so you deal a little bit more damage. Again, for my build, right? Maybe if you got a crit damage or offense, maybe you don't need him, but I think I do, just for that extra bit of damage. As you can see, I'm just doing a crazy amount of damage right now. But yeah, guys, I hope that this helps you guys out. I hope this is at least somewhat, you know, beneficial for you guys. And if it is, go ahead and leave that like and subscribe. And then we'll talk to you guys next time, man. Also, you know, if you see anything wrong or anything that people can do better, go ahead and hit up the comment section. By far, you know, we're not perfect, or I'm not perfect. So I'm always trying to learn. So thank you guys so much for watching the video, and we'll see you guys next time.